I fucking love RotoGP.com.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck you, Kevin, for not fucking ever coming down here. I don't care if you live in the fucking boondocks. Get your fucking ass a fucking motorcycle. Your fucking Zuma. No one gives a fuck.
No one gives a fuck about your Zuma.
No one gives a fuck. Just get out here. Come to
by the way.
Chuck. Nice to fucking. This is fucking Cy.
I'm Cy.
Cy's here and you're not.
Yeah!
And Robert, are you fucking too good because you fucking do Motor America? Are you too good to do fucking CVMA?
It's only club racing.
It's only club
It's only
racing.
club racing.
It's only club racing. Come on.
God,
Dude, that's
fuck.
fucking awesome. Yeah!
I literally listen to it religiously. Like,
What? Fuck me? Fuck me and my Zuma? I don't even have... No one can give a fuck about my Zuma because I don't fucking have one. It's physically impossible. It's like literally a double negative. You can't prove negative. You can't say no one gives a fuck about my Zuma because my Zuma doesn't exist. Bitch ass Cy, if I had my Zuma, I'd throw Ev on the back like fucking Dumb and Dumber status. We would strap up and we would fucking Zuma our ass down there on 30 miles an hour, all the way to Wales, Vagina, San Diego, or wherever the fuck you guys are, and we would actually hang out and do stuff. But I can't get there because I don't have the Zuma. This is like, what came first, the chicken or the egg? What happened first? Did Kevin Cy get drunk, or did Kev get a Zuma? Because those things are fucking not mutually exclusive. They're interdependent. So you know what, man? Eat a big fat dick, but, let me get some money, bro.
That's perfect,
Fuck.
Kev. That's perfect.
I got my own sponsor. I got our own sponsors throwing shade at me. Jesus fuck.
I think
take 1 week off. We take 1 week off because Rob is actually the one that's burned out. Rob is actually the one that doesn't want to record. And suddenly it's fuck you, Kevin. No one gives a fuck about your Zuma. How come you never come hang out? I don't know, because half of California is on fucking fire right now.
They were
so
on
I'm
the other-
hunkered down in the barn in the boondocks, bro. I'm waiting for shit to settle.
They're actually on the other side of the fire from you, too. They were at Chuckwalla. They actually went racing
Other
that
side of the fire, bitch!
Yeah.
I was in the middle of the fire. My nephew's school burned to the fucking ground.
Oh, you're talking about the other fires. Yeah, no, I forgot about those ones.
I'm talking about the real fire. No one gives a fuck about Southern California. That shit could burn to the ground and no one would care. But NorCal, man, this is where all the real craft brews are trying to take place. This is where Francis Ford Coppola's winery is. And I know that because I'm currently drinking a fucking 2013 Director's Cut Francis Ford Coppola out of a cat coffee mug.
Wait, they have director's cut wines?
Bitch, hell yeah, you can't just get this. You gotta spend $30 to get it.
Well, high rolling tonight, huh, Kev? Shit, and here I have
Actually, someone gave it to me, so I don't know how high rolling I could be. I am literally drinking it out of a cat-shaped coffee mug that says, "You're perfect." So even though Cy says, "Fuck Kevin," my cat mug says I'm perfect, and my mom says I'm cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I don't know what. I think I'd rather have you drink out of the cat-shaped coffee mug than the coffee, well, it wasn't a mug last time. What was the coffee container that you're using as a decanter? It
was an actual coffee pot.
The pot, that's right.
It was a pot, yeah. And Dennis was right because I didn't really wash it out. So like the remnants of the coffee grounds mixed the white wine, and it kind of looked like hobo pee. Like it kind of looked like a piss jug.
And it was white wine too. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. That's how I do.
You're crazy. Oh man, of course these guys got to give me shit for not going to Chuckwalla, but I can't stand that track, and I think I'm gonna race there next month anyway.
Rob's a big-time Moto America racer now, bro. He's pro. He's gotten checks from a national series. He's racing at Chuckwalla.
Yeah, but I'm going to go out there, and all the fucking track experts, because they only ever race there, they're going to kick my ass because I'm going to be fucking like seconds off the pace for not having ridden in a bunch of months. That's not going to be good. It's not going to be a good look for me, especially after you say that I'm pro. That's not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Hella pro.
Throw me under the bus. Kind of. They're gonna beat me, but it's okay. Everyone will bro down. I'll be out there in January for sure, and hopefully we'll do a little promotion of Bro to GP and get you that fucking Zuma.
Yes. Yes. Because Lord knows the $25,000 that Dorna is offering for their international fucking social media manager ain't covering me getting even a used Zuma. $25,000, Dorna. I almost applied for that job. I'm like hitting up Carol, hitting up Josh. I'm like, y'all guys, write me a fucking letter of recommendation. Get me the in. I can do this. 25 grand? What the fuck? I mean, where am I going to live? Alabama? Jesus fuck. You know, like, help me out here.
That's actually that's pretty bad. I don't think they realize that you live in wine country. Then again, you do tell everyone you live in a barn, so maybe they're thinking 25 grand is going to cut it.
Dude, 25 grand doesn't pay my rent in the barn. It's 2017, assholes. The number one political thing across the whole fucking world is income inequality.
Yeah.
Like, help me out here. 25 grand doesn't get you shit. That gets you like some stupid like 19-year-old girl who's there and she's getting sold the idea that she's getting paid in the paddock experience. Except the last fucking thing you want is anyone who's trying to get paid in experience. Because that means they're not working, they're experiencing. If you actually want someone that's going to sit there and think, fuck, I want to build, a new voice for MotoGP. I want to get them attached to the younger crowd. I want to grow this across Southeast Asia. Like, I got a year to really make an impact. That person is not out partying, screaming, Dino! Getting drunk with Scott Redding on his fucking Instagram stories. That guy's hunkered down, busting out memes left and right like my man Rem Dog, who fucking gives me half those memes I post on our fucking account. Like, you gotta be making memes and fucking tagging peeps, studying demographics, studying fucking engagement. You gotta know, like... I mean, you gotta know, this is fucking 2017, man. You get that shit down to like a 4-year age gap and the gender and like certain special interests. That's so hyper-specific targeting these days that this ain't just some kid who knows how to use his phone if you actually want it to be dope. And like Everett fucking said that...
Whoa, you're giving away too much like intellectual property here. Like you gotta charge them if you're gonna give away all this information.
But yeah, exactly. I can charge them a hell of a lot more than 25 grand a year. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, for everyone, if you missed it, Dorna actually posted a job, essentially like a link to a job application or a job post that they want someone to run social media for them for next year. And it pays $25,000 because Kevin actually found out, or not dollars, right? Euros, 25,000 euros.
25 euros, right.
Yeah.
Pay me a Bitcoin, motherfucker. I need Litecoin. I need Ethereum script. I need my blockchain. First of all, assholes, I don't need to fucking work for fucking Dorna because like 5 years ago, my brother said Bitcoin's going to be dope and he dropped his whole 401k into it and the fucking dude is rich like Nazis.
Wait, he's so rich that he's just going to like float you too? Is it? Mm-hmm. Oh damn!
Right.
Oh, don't tell people that. We probably shouldn't publish that.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's all good. They posted. Suzuki posted an ad. A couple other teams did. Suzuki's was pretty good, but you had to live in Europe, which was kind of a drag. But Dorna posted their ad. The World Superbike media manager or a MotoGP media manager and 25 grand. I mean, eat shit. I'll probably make more money with MotoGP than that.
Ooh, that's a good goal to have for next year.
Well, we got things afoot, guys. Things with Rob.
They don't
afoot happening. You don't even know.
I love how you tell everyone that I don't even want to record. I'm getting burned out, but we have things afoot.
Right? No. He just needed to take a break, guys. He's not burned out. He's like Ross and Rachel and Friends. It was just a break. He's not cheating on anyone.
That's true. I could never do another podcast. It's never gonna happen. All right, let's
podcast though. Whatevs. You can't hold me down. You can't fucking control me.
Oh, I know you're going to.
I'm a grown ass man.
We can't even talk about that. All right, let's do the intro.
Riders Law, motherfuckers.
Welcome to GP. This is episode number 80. It's December fucking 13th, which means we're well into winter. But we are here with a quick episode. You already heard the cold intro. Kevin is here.
Rob says quick episode like I'm not going to talk for the next 97 minutes about Scott Redding's Instagram.
You are not. No, we're gonna try and keep this into like an hour, Kev. Can we do that?
I don't know. There's many people that want me to discuss only Redding's Instagram, but also equally as many people that only want me to discuss Yanone's Instagram.
There were also requests for a Scott Redding and Andre Yanone episode in its entirety.
Yes.
So that one would that one would be 2 hours. But we're not even going to talk about Yanone all that much, but we're gonna get there.
Bitch, I could wax poetic on Yanone's Instagram stories like you don't even know. War and Peace level lengths is what I'm saying.
I feel like we would just bleed listeners the further you got into it. I mean, as long as you don't start singing again, it'd probably be okay.
Bitch, you say we'd bleed listeners, but every single comment on what you want us to talk about, like 3/4 of them are talking about Yanone throwing condoms at people.
We're gonna get there.
Because that happened.
Yeah, that totally happened. We'll get to that. All right, before we talk about condoms and alcoholic shit shows, let's talk about writer's law. So
hold on.
Oh.
Y'all notice Rob didn't introduce anybody else.
Oh.
It's the Rob and Kevin show, people. It's the Rob and Kev show. So get ready for 90 minutes of two dudes agreeing with each other.
Yeah. God damn it. I'm gonna pick a bone with you somewhere in there just to throw you off. What's
this
Everett
is gonna
doing?
this is gonna be as argumentative as two Canadians drinking coffee.
I just watched a South Park episode that was pretty good. Canadian, eh? What's Everett doing right now? Well, so Everett is currently making up points with the wife because he spent the whole weekend with Carl Abraham in Southern California doing a 12-hour Spartan race.
That shit was epic. Everett actually had to fucking tap out. Like 10 hours in, he just
2 hours from the finish. He was so close.
He had 2 hours is a long fucking time, man. You might say that, but 2 hours underwater is you've been dead a while. But Everett, I give it when he listed what happened. He told us the story, the things they fucking had to carry, the race, 12 hours deep. He was 10 hours in, and he just said, "Look, man, my fucking back and my knees, it's just too much." But Carl's a stud. He literally is a professional athlete. He made it to the end, and he fucking medaled. Pretty cool little story, actually. So you should check out Carl's page. It actually shows it. And he is actually on Twitter now for the tens of Twitter followers that we have.
Maybe 20, 30. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I mean, Twitter when Everett told us that, he had to carry like a 45-pound rucksack or whatever, I was like, that's not too bad for 12 hours. Like, that's just like a heavy hiking bag. But then he starts describing like all the fucking sandbags and the 5-gallon buckets of water and all this other shit. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, nope. I wonder if they would like make me carry less than 45 pounds because I'm a tiny person. Like, cause
I mean, running with weight on your back is like the worst fucking possible thing you can do.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Like Everett actually told some of the stuff that we had to do was pretty cool. Jumping in ice pools from the regular Spartan race. Now you're free. At sundown, you had to jump into an ice bath. So you literally, the sun sets, you jump into an ice bath and then continue the race. Like, I mean, literally you can't take a full breath because your lungs contract when you jump in ice water, and now they're running in the dark, freezing cold, like fucking motherfucking Greenland or something is going on, you know what I mean? And they're running around. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I love how Ev said he wished that he had done more squats and deadlifts to like get the weight handling a little bit better. But he plays fucking hockey too, so it's not like his legs aren't up to the task. But whatever, 10 hours, he made it. It was pretty baller.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean,
what else? What was I doing?
Not here. He's recouping.
Yeah.
And Dennis ain't here because he's never here.
Well, I think he's punching guys in the face again at the gym tonight. That sounds like something.
He's tying it up.
Yeah, that's what he does on Wednesdays. I don't know. He said he might pop in later, but it's probably not going to happen. It's Dennis.
Right. So that guy that said, put your phones on silent for a quick buzzing, my phone's on silent, but I keep moving around. So that sound you hear is me just like adjusting my butt. Trying to get that butt groove going.
Kev is currently on his nice cushy couch with a cat probably and his cat mug of wine. So
I'm perfect.
And my chair makes like weird clicking noises. But no, the buzzing, we don't know what the buzzing was because it wasn't some guy's phone because no one's phone vibrated. Because we have that shit on lock, but I don't know what it was. Whatever. on to business.
What, man? You know what would be weird if we were on video when we recorded, you could have seen what was buzzing.
That'd be kind of weird. Yeah.
I wonder if that'd be cool to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think our because who watches video on a podcast? That doesn't make any sense.
Who wants to interact live with their podcasts they like?
With like
No
live
one.
comments?
Probably no one.
No, people don't
With
do
like
that.
live comments? Nah.
Nah, whatever. We'll get there
Nah.
too. We'll get there too.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get there.
We're like 20 minutes into this thing, and I haven't plugged Writer's Law yet. Saya's gonna be pissed.
Okay, right? You know why I haven't plugged Writer's Law? Because the first thing we did was Writer's Law screaming, "Fuck you, Kevin." So you know what? Writer's Law, you ain't getting a plug. WritersLaw.com is not getting a plug. If you have an accident injury, if you're riding a motorcycle, you probably shouldn't call the awesomely good lawyers at WritersLaw.com to help you out. Because you know what? They said fuck Kev. So I don't know what kind of plug we're going to do for WritersLaw.com accident injury lawyers who can help you out if you've been in an accident. Maybe if you even caused an accident. I mean, if you caused an accident, fuck you. Like they say, fuck you, Kevin. But hey, you need legal advice even more if you're the one on the hook for shit. So call them too. Or if you got hit by a car because some fucking guy didn't think that lane splitting was legal, you definitely shouldn't call WritersLaw.com because I don't know WritersLaw.com.
Right. Wait. What was that website, Kev?
WritersLaw with a Z.com.
Oh, WritersLaw.com. Yeah, I hear
Yes.
they're pretty good lawyers actually. So not calling them would be a mistake.
Yes, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We're not sure. But if you'd like to get Kev Azuma though, in reference to the previous bits that already came on here, definitely call WritersLaw.com.
Yeah. Here's what I want you to do, guys. I want you to get on your bike and get super wasted. Go in front of a car hold on, and then just randomly hit your front brake and stop on a dime and have some guy clip you in the back and knock you over and then sue the fuck out of them. And when Cy gets you that fucking settlement, throw me a little bit of cash, like $850, like $865, like $865, so I can get like an $850 Zuma and then hit over to In-N-Out real quick on it and be good to go.
As long as you get the in and out in there. No, do not drink and ride your motorcycle or drive. Do not do that.
You can do anything. I mean, get on top of your roof and jump off. You can fly. And if you can't, call Cy to help you with your medical bills. But I definitely think you can fly. I mean, if you believe in it, you can fly. Take your bike to the roof and jump off like Trinity from the fucking Matrix. You will land if you can believe. You can do anything. You can fucking fly. You can ride your bike onto the airstrip of an international airport and no one will be mad. And if they are, call Cy.
I feel like we might have just lost a sponsor. Oh, no.
Son of a bitch.
All right, everyone. No, Riders Law really helps us out. If you want them to support BrotoGP, if you want them to support motorcycle road racing in the United States, definitely, please, with any legal help that you need, give them a call, and it will be great for all motorcyclists everywhere.
For real talk for a quick second,
Yeah.
Rob. Guys, for real, think of how many other sponsors will tell you can say anything. We got your back no matter what. Do your shit, and in reciprocity, we're gonna say fuck you on your podcast too. Not many. Normally, when you get a sponsor, you gotta fucking toe the line. You gotta watch what you say. You gotta have because we've had other guys that I'm like, fuck, I'm not trying to be on there. So, they've been with us from the get go, and they are fully in. I mean, I just literally said jump your bike off a 5-story building and then sue someone for it. And Sai's like, yep, I want to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to believe that hanging out with Sai when you're going through that terrible, terrible experience of being in court and trying to get your life back together after getting an accident, at least you're doing it with Sai, a guy that puts up with all of our shit. So it'll be a little bit better hanging out with Sai and lawyer Rob than it would be going with some other lawyer. So do yourself a solid and call Riders Law. But so speaking of drinking and shit shows, should we
Dino?
should we start?
Dino.
So let's do this in a little bit chronological order. So last week
Yeah.
Scott Redding decided to go to an FIM awards banquet for Kiara. And,
Right.
And what did he do?
Kiara Redding, as he has her in his phone.
Wait, I thought that was in Mav's phone.
No, I was wrong. I was overly exuberant. That's actually Redding's phone.
Wow, that's too much. I don't even know. Kev, what did he do? I feel like you got to give us the play-by-play of all of his Instagram stories.
Okay, so Kiara won the women's motocross. Again, I'm a big fan of Kiara. And to that guy who said she's not that hot or whatever, fuck, dude, show me a million hot chicks and I'll show you a million guys who are sick of their shit. Kiara's a dope-ass world champion motorcycle racer. There's not that many of those. You know what I mean? Like, you can overlook a lot when she's a fucking straight world-class motorcycle rider. Hell of a lot more interesting than a fucking hot chick with nothing behind the eyes. Dead ass eyes. Wow. No one likes dead eyes.
Well, no.
Anyways,
no one at all.
So Kiara wins the fucking championship. Redding goes with her. They have the after party with Dino.
Who the fuck
By
is
the way,
Dino?
Who the fuck is Dino? Dino is Italian Dino. You know how I know he's Italian Dino? Because Redding told me like 9 times on his fucking Instagram stories. So they go after the thing, they start to party down, and then you know what happens? You know, when you're a big-ass chav fucking Englishman and you start drinking and Dino's there, you get a little hot and your shirt starts chafing you. And then your pants start chafing you. By the way, that's like the 5th seasons 4 through 9 Simpsons episode reference already. But now my pants are chafing me. So Redding's down to his underwear and his fucking, what the fuck? I'm blank, not your belt, but your fucking...
Your tie?
No!
His pants?
I'm
His suspenders.
I'm fully brain farting. Suspenders. I'm fully brain farting. Suspenders. Fuck. But anyway, he's into his pants. He's in his underwear and suspenders with his dope glasses, and he's fucking wasted. And then they got a fucking limbo. And the dude's, you know what? For being a tall-ass dude, he's actually a pretty decent limbo, but they got crunk as fuck. I mean, Little John status. And they are running around shirtless and pantless in only suspenders and underwear and weird, like, Terminator 3 glasses. Remember that weird scene where he said talk to the hand and he was like Elton John glasses?
Oh, yeah.
He's in, like, those
weird.
Glasses. Yeah, because that movie happened. Fuck, that movie actually happened. And I don't even need to ruin that movie. That movie was just downright shit. But, yeah, so, and they're just wasted off their ass, and then Kiara is fully wasted, too. They're pulling Instagram stories left and right. I don't even know what's happening, but it's fully rivaling Yanone's stories for the weird naked dudeness.
You know, I wonder if Redding being a world-class athlete actually helps his limbo skills.
Oh, I definitely think that, like, if you're tall and shredded and young, that makes for a good limbo, like, talent. I mean, no doubt. World-class athlete makes you good at limbo.
It's just, I actually went to try to go to his Instagram today, and I just couldn't find it for a split second. I was like, holy fuck, did it get canceled from them being such shit shows at the party? But no, I'm just an idiot.
Right. Now, I mean, just wasted off his ass. Like, and I got a lot of messages. I mean, I was getting them left and right, dude. They're like, dude, Redding's Instagram, he's fucking wasted. I was seeing a movie. I was seeing, Thor Ragnarok, and I get out of Thor Ragnarok, which is fucking sweet, by the way, and I got like 100 messages about, dude, Redding's Instagram is off the chain.
That's awesome.
Right. And then the problem is like, the whole time Kiara's there, but she keeps looking at the camera with, like, sad eyes, like, secret sad eyes, and you're like, oh, fuck, this bitch is trapped, son. Like, everyone says I need a catfish to fucking save Mav. I gotta save Kiara, too. I gotta double catfish. Veronica's gotta swing both ways at some point, and somehow she's gotta catfish Mav and fucking Kiara, because Kiara is so... like, she's so jaded on men right now. She's prime for a muff dive. Straight up. Like, she is prime for a blueberry snack, son. And she's ready to go. She needs that, like, 1 year where she's a lesbian. You know what I'm saying? And that she needs to dive in. And Veronica is just the girl to teach her those ways.
You don't think it would be easier to get Redding to go after Veronica and then, like, dump Kiara?
Redding is so fully in the fucking Kiara. Like, dude, he has her as Kiara Redding in his phone.
That's a very good point. Very good point.
Let me tell you something. Dudes who are married don't have their... Everett's wife in his phone is not like Mrs. Everett. You know what I'm saying? That's just like her... You know what I mean? Like, no one in their fucking... No one has their wife... Like, old ball and chain. Like, you know what I mean? Literally, my fucking best friend Nick has his wife... I'm going to get in big trouble for this. In his phone, his number is nagging wife.
Do you go to BJJ with Nick? I hope that he listens to this and just fucking tries to beat your ass at the gym.
No, Nick does not train, but he is a rather large man, so it's still a problem. But definitely, I mean, no one has their actual wife, so he is fully on the, like, he's head over heels, like, just insanely into her. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, it could be the honeymoon phase right now, right? Like, it's new relationships. They've only been together for like 4 months or
the
something.
Bitch, honeymoon phase is fucking on the kitchen table, not having her take your last name.
God damn it.
Right?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
that's the honeymoon phase. Honeymoon phase is not farting in front of her.
Yeah,
Fuck.
That's true. That's true. God damn it. All right, I'm down with your plan for Veronica. Everyone wants to know when they're going to be able to see Veronica.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone wants to know when I'm actually gonna commit and create a fake person and then ruin two people's lives for the sake of our enjoyment. I love our fans.
I mean, it sounds like like all of reality television. So
right.
It'll be very popular. In fact, that might be the next phase of Broto GP is just reality
fucking
TV. Slowly
Veronica will probably get like elected to the Senate or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's too soon. Oh man, God damn it.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Right. So
what else happened last week? You already brought it up. They threw condoms at everyone.
What? This is my favorite part about Broto GP. Like, there's a lot of stuff. We got a small sponsor, but he helps out. It's fucking sweet. We got a lot of fans. We bring a lot of, I think that we make a lot of people have fun and happiness. We get a lot of messages about they can't wait for the next episode. I really feel like we're part of this great community, right?
Yeah.
And we're trying to build something that other podcasts don't do, but one of my favorite things is if Yanone's Instagram is even mildly strange, I'm inundated with 1,000 messages. And every single one was, this dude is throwing condoms into the crowd. I mean, they might have been keychains, but I'm pretty sure they were AI-29 condoms. I don't know what he was doing at that Japanese motor show, but he was digging into a giant box and winging condoms at everyone.
I feel like if it had AI-29 on it, I might not trust it. Like, you just...
Right, that's a trick question. AI-29 don't use condoms.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he raw dogs it all day. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't him and his girlfriend break up, actually? What was her name?
Didn't they broke up?
Yeah.
I mean, do you speak English? What
no,
is wrong with you?
No, I don't. I'm fucking reading Yanone's Instagram, and it's screwing with my head.
Right. I have heard that they broke up. One fan messaged me and said, "Why don't you ever talk about her?" And I'm like, "Well, I think they broke up." And he's like, "Sweet, I'm going to swoop in." I'm like, "Fuck, dude. Yeah, I mean, do it."
Yeah.
Literally, my man B Chiller was like, "You should talk about his girlfriend," and I'm like, "I'm pretty sure they broke up." And he's like, "If that's the case, I'm going to swoop in."
Solid.
You just move it in, quick, solid. I mean, all the power to you. I have your back, bro. If you want to swoop in on like an Italian supermodel, fucking give it your best shot.
I feel like he can send us like a selfie with her, and then then we'll blow up his fucking Instagram. Like, that'll be great.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I don't know. Do we have any more Yanone fucking crazy stories from this past week before we should actually get to motorcycle racing?
Nothing off the top of my head, other than I I did post one from earlier in the year where his fucking bone was out, and I had like multiple pro racers message me going, "What is up with that guy?" And I'm like, he's my spirit animal. You know what? He's not a person. He's a lifestyle. He's a straight lifestyle, and you have to live life to the fullest. And if you need to do kettlebell workouts with a boner, you got to do it now. If you are boned out of your mind, but you still need to get your swole on, because what's a boner but a dick pump? So if you need to have a bicep pump as well as a dick pump, all the fucking power to you, man.
If you haven't noticed, Broda GP also wants to be a lifestyle, so we're kind of modeling our experiences after Yanone.
Bitch, I model my whole life after Yanone.
I don't know. Does he? You gotta send Yanone like a cat coffee mug.
You know what? For reals, I want to get him on because everyone thinks that we're talking shit about him. I'm telling you right now, we talk some salty ass shit about Cal. I'm not talking shit about Yanone. Dude is my favorite racer on the grid. Straight up, I fucking love Yanone because he is a character and he's wholly committed to his character. That shit's real. He's not fucking around.
No, there's no way. I don't think he's a character. I think that's just him. Like,
right.
I think he's being very genuine. Yeah.
Right. Unapologetically, that's who I am. And, Suzuki was doing poor this season. He had some problems, and everyone started to hate on him. And you saw, British journalists saying, Yanone's got a problem. I'm like, no, man. Yanone isn't going to change who he is just because the bike is good or not good. Everyone thought it was so dope when he rode for Ducati, and he said, all I do is train and fuck. But suddenly, the Suzuki's not good, and that's bad? Nah, man. That dude trains and fucks, and that's what he does. And sometimes he trains while he's fucking.
Because of the boner.
Because of the boner.
God damn it. Kevin brings it full circle every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah, I mean, Yanone, I don't think that he needs to change much about his riding style even to get along with the Suzuki. That's what we saw towards the end of the year. They finally figured out the winglets. They put the mustache winglets on there, and he was able to go fast instantly. It definitely seems like it's just bike problems now. Yanone has already changed as much as he needs to get along with that bike. Suzuki's just got to put that shit together.
Right. Exactly. I mean, his partner was injured for a lot of the year, so development was, he was kind of shackled with that. He didn't have a second, quality rider to do well. And we saw that Rin's healthy, pretty fucking good. Yeah. And it's just a matter of, they obviously it was their first year without concessions, and that timed with two brand new riders, so they're shackled with less testing, less engines, but they have two new riders and one rider gets hurt. I really think that was just a perfect storm. I was really looking forward to Yanone on the Suzuki because I think that this kind of sweet handling bike might play into his aggressive style by sort of enabling him to try even harder. And as soon, we'll see what happens, but as soon as they kind of finally came to grips with it, he was looking pretty good.
You were totally right, Kev. We're just going to agree with each other for the next 90 minutes.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's move on to this week. So
correct.
The main thing.
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
God damn it. The main thing that came out this week in the news is a very nice interview with Herb Poncharal from the Tech 3 team. So obviously everyone is still talking about Zarco. Zarco's the only the top.
Hey girl.
Kevin's still talking about him, of course. He's the top MotoGP rider going to the Super Prestigio because Marquez isn't going. Zarco was top rookie, top privateer, had an amazing season, and now everyone's wondering what's going to happen for 2018 because we know that the Tech 3 guys usually get the factory bike from the previous year. And that bike was shit.
Right.
So the Herb interview kind of touches on that a little bit. It also brings up one thing that people haven't really been talking about yet, in the fact that Rossi is likely going to want to put in or start a MotoGP team sometime soon. And that might leave Tech 3 out in the cold.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what interview we're talking about, GP1 did a pretty good. It's not super long, but it's got a lot of stuff in it, and Herb definitely let loose. He didn't go crazy or nothing, but he he told it like it was. He didn't hold back. He didn't go corporate speak. He said a lot of stuff. He said, look, I don't even know if we have the bike after 20... Right. I mean, he did 2019, 2020. We don't even know if we have it. Like, he admitted that there are riders on the grid that make more money than Tech 3's entire budget. So keeping Zarco is pretty much impossible. Which he said he's made his peace with. He said that they're not getting the 2018 bike. Zarco's not getting any different level support than they get, which is they get the previous year's bike, and that's it. They're not a factory team. They're not a true junior team. And, that has led some people to speculate that, Zarco's looking to move on to make more money and to get to a team where he actually can get some input. And Poncharal is very, Poncharal don't pull no punches. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, boy. That's all I'm saying. He says it straight. I mean, he says a lot of interesting stuff in this. The idea that he recognizes that, if Valentino wants to run a team, he's out in the cold. And he says, I know that because he's Valentino and he has massive pull, massive sponsors, his relationship with Yamaha and all that. And that leads to a very interesting conundrum of, what happens with Tech 3 with two pretty good rookies and one pretty sensational rookie in Zarco.
Yeah, so let's talk about Zarco first, and we'll get to Rossi after that.
Let me mention one thing about Zarco.
Yeah.
To all you people who are asking me why I don't do Hey Girl memes with other writers, bro, do you even internet? Do you even internet?
Explain
Fuck,
it. Spill it out. Spill it out for him.
DOUINT webs. Do you even in webs? I mean, fuck. What?
No, not
First
that.
of all, I don't even know. Like, if I have to describe to you why I'm not adding other writers, fuck.
All right, we'll move on then.
All I'm gonna say is thanks to my bro, because I tried to use Google Translate to change "Hey Girl" to like the French version because I thought it would be funny. But Google Translate gave me "girl," but like their word was like "little girl." So I fucking accidentally made this meme that was like, hey, 10-year-old girl, something, my front is super hard. And he's like, bro, don't post that, because that actually, he has like a PhD in French, and he's like, that word, Google Translate tried to fuck me. Google Translate, in the middle of the Me Too movement and all this shit, Google Translate was trying to manufacture me. I was gonna have to retire. I'm gonna have to rescind my spot and like step down amid sexual harassment allegations, all because Google Translate gave me the wrong fucking word for girl. Thank God I sent that shit over to some people for review first.
Wow, I didn't even know you reviewed memes before posting them. I thought they just ended up on blast.
I got secret peeps. I got peeps who don't want to be named specifically that get some of my meme reviews to say, hey, is this working? Is this firing or not? So there's a lot of ones. There's like a lot of B-side memes that y'all haven't even seen.
Send those to me. I want to see them. But yes,
I will send them all to you.
Good job not posting a pedophilia hey girl, because that is one of the no-go topics. Yeah, good job.
Right. Yeah, that was a near disaster.
That would have been bad. Would have lost all those 37 people in France that listen to our podcast. Mm-hmm. And French Canada.
Right.
Where were we? Oh,
What about French Guiana?
I don't know. Have you been there?
Maybe.
Did you tell them about RotoGP?
I tell everyone about RotoGP.
That's probably the last time you rode a motorcycle. No, it wasn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't. But
no. Anyways, okay. So Johan Zarco.
So Zarco rode the latest factory Yamaha at the Valencia test, and he pretty much said like, "Oh yeah, this bike isn't too bad." Like I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by him next year, and the information that's coming out that's kind of explaining all of that is the fact that he seems to have a very different riding style compared to all of the other Yamaha riders. He runs really soft springs. He doesn't brake that hard. He doesn't throttle that hard. He just doesn't pitch the bike very much. And all this just reminds me of Jorge Lorenzo. And we know that Jorge can get along with the Yamaha, and he probably wouldn't have had the same exact issues that Rossi was having all last year. So maybe this new bike next year is not going to be a problem for Zarco.
Well, what I really liked with this interview with Herv, too, was that he really emphasized to Zarco, like, do not go in with preconceived notions. Don't listen to the fucking journalists. Don't listen to the comments on YouTube. Don't listen to the fucking... I mean, he didn't say don't listen to MotoGP, so I'm pretty sure that's actually an endorsement to do listen to MotoGP. He did not say don't listen, but he really emphasized don't go in with preconceived notions. Just get on the bike. He gets his choice of frames and chassis from 2017, so he's admitted that. And Zarco has a couple different options of the 2017 bike to fix and just, get to work. And I think, like you said, go in with no preconceived notions and just make this thing work and have a riding style that maybe lends itself to it. I mean, styles make fights.
That's a really interesting thing to bring up, the preconceived notions, because you got to imagine that as the year got progressively worse for factory Yamaha, like that's probably what got into Vinales' head a little bit. It's just like, holy shit, this bike does have really terrible rear grip. Holy shit, we can't manage the tires. And by the end of the season, they were so bad that they used the final race as a test.
Right, I mean, that self-defeat is huge. If you've convinced yourself that it's not going to work, I mean, that's a big problem. And if you let yourself be convinced that this bike isn't that good, you're going to not try as hard.
Yeah.
That's just going to happen. And Zarco has never been accused of not trying hard, and now is not the time to start. I think, Poncharal knows that. And, a good example is he said that in Qatar, when he crashed, Zarco told him, don't be mad at me, we're going to have more races at the front this year. And he was right. I mean, that self-belief is huge, and as important as self-belief is in really any sport, but certainly a very mental, cerebral sport like racing, self-doubt is crippling. And I think Mav hit self-doubt, and Rossi hit self-doubt, and with just... 2017 bike, that bike can win races. Focus on the fact that bike can podium and can win races, and then just hope that your ability to ride the crazy soft tires gets you through those rain races.
Yeah. Well, and it seems that Zarco has a completely different style for heating up the tires, right? So he's able to do things that other racers can't. And if he's able to run the softs like we saw this year, then maybe he won't have the rear grip problems that Yamaha had this year. So there's a lot of unknowns with Zarco for next year. We still he'll pick one of the three chassis that they had. They produced a bunch of swing arms. He'll get an engine that, he'll get the engine that Rossi and Vinales ended up complaining about towards the end of the year. But at the same time, the engine was a little bit better than their previous one. The chassis we're not sure on, but it could suit him. So a lot of unknowns are going to make for a very interesting year for him, and he'll be the talking point probably for most of the season.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. I think he'll handle that bike well, but what Zarco's going to face next year is more difficult than this year. Not the bike, but the grid. You've got Suzukis that have no concessions. Have concessions. So they have more testing, more engines, more ability to change that bike. You've got more GP17s on the grid, which we saw were very good. Jack Miller's on one. Tito Rabat got one, and he's looking pretty good. I think while he'll have moments of brilliance that are going to lend him to a factory ride for KTM or Suzuki later, I think he's also going to have some times where we're like, that's an odd struggle, because that 5th through 10th is going to be brutal next year.
I do like how 5th through 10th seems to be getting better every single year for the past 2 or 3. Once we got to Spec Electronics and Michelin's, we've said that every single season is the mid-pack is getting stronger, and it's going to make for amazing races again. It's going to be great. But yeah, you're right. For those guys that aren't consistently challenging for the podium or just off of it, their bad days will go from maybe 6th or 7th last year down to
12th.
Yeah, down to 12th. So, I mean, Zarco had a few bad performances, right? He had, 3 finishes outside of the top 10, and next year it could get worse.
I mean, KTM's coming on strong, and they're having obviously a lot more investment, and Suzuki obviously is going to be able to make more, and then with all those extra Ducati GP17s, we'll see. I think Is Zarco going to win a race next year? No, I don't think so. But is he going to have some serious moments of brilliance where he's podiuming and battling for wins? I do think so.
Yeah, I mean, I called it last year that no satellite racer was going to win a race, and Zarco almost foiled me. I don't know if I'm going to say the same thing about next year.
I think next year is only going to be more solidified factory riders are running the show.
Yeah. They'll have to be something crazy with the tires, or someone will have to get something wrong in order for that not to be the case, right? Like, one of the main reasons why Zarco is able to do well is because the factory Yamaha team kind of shit the bed. But if they're on point, then that's 6 bikes in front of him instead of just 4, and it could be even worse.
Do we assume next year that Jorge will still suck? And that the factory Yamahas will basically not be able to ride in the rain, and also that every single round will be affected by rain.
Yeah, I would never put money on that.
Right.
So, okay. So speaking of factory bikes, let's take Zarco past 2018, and because Herv has already been talking about that, right? Like, you already specifically said it, that he doesn't think he'll have the money or the machinery to keep Zarco on his team after his contract expires.
Right.
No, more
I
agreeing.
think he'd be yeah, exactly. Yes, that sounds great, Rob.
Damn it.
Son of a bitch. I mean, no, he won't, and he shouldn't. I mean, that team is, like he says in this interview, they're not really a true junior team. Tech 3 does not promote to the factory squad. I mean, Spies did, but they don't really promote to the factory squad. Look at what Dovey did in, what was that, 2012? 2012? He had like 6 podiums. I mean, his season was vastly better than Zarco's against like the likes of Stoner, and yet he didn't get promoted up because they retook Rossi. They had Spies, but that's really it. The Tech 3 team is just a satellite team. It's like Mark VDS. Rarely does someone move up from the factory. Yamaha tends to bring people directly to the factory. Ben was the outlier to that, but if you look at who they brought Rossi straight to the fucking factory team. They brought Lorenzo straight to the factory team. They brought Maverick straight to the factory team. Colin Edwards, same thing. Colin did not come up through Yamaha's program. He was riding Honda RC 211Vs, and then they brought him to the factory team. I mean, it's not... They don't promote from within. They promote from without.
Wait, Colin was on the Aprilia, and before that he was on the RC51.
No, Aprilia first, then the RC51.
No, the RC51 in World Superbike.
Excuse me, yes, RC51, then Aprilia, then he rode for Camel Honda on the lowest spec Honda, and then he switched to Yamaha.
I forgot about the Camel Honda. Forgot about it.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, we've talked about that before with
Make
HRC.
sponsorship tobacco again. Make sponsors tobacco again.
You mean make tobacco sponsorship again?
Yeah, there is no rule against podcasts being sponsored by tobacco. So if Marlboro needs to fucking launder a few mil, send it our way, brah. Send it our way.
Yeah, you could, Marlboro, you could seriously get some great promotion in the Midwest of the United States through Moto
I will
America.
get a tracheotomy and smoke a cigarette out of my neck, bitch, if that means that you fucking throw us a shitload of cash.
Wait, I think...
I'll have a voice box in his record like, I'm just Kevin, fuck these guys, give me a Zoom. Fuck it.
Wait, is that an acting cough or is that a real cough?
Bitch, that is real as shit. That fucking I can't do a voice box for more than 2 seconds.
Damn. No, I think the voice box was actually bad promotion for Marlboro, so maybe they don't want to do that.
No, what do you mean? You can smoke out of your hole. Now I can smoke 2 cigarettes at the same time. That means my pack goes twice as fast, and I have to buy twice as many cartons of that sweet, sweet nicotine.
You're ruining all their trade secrets. What were we talking about? Oh, we got there from Camel Honda. No, yeah.
What I'm saying is ride your motorcycle off a building and smoke a carton a day.
God damn it. Oh, I lost it.
Right. So if I get a tracheotomy and I can't talk without a voice box, and I gotta sue the tobacco companies, is Psy gonna help?
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with yes. Psy seems to be up for anything. I'm going with it.
Lawyer Rob up for anything. That sounds like a party.
Well, you got to hang out in Laguna next year. Come on.
Apparently.
Yeah. We were talking about factory rides at Yamaha not going to Tech 3 riders, which, yeah, we've said that about HRC before. It's definitely how those two factories definitely do things. Even Ducati, but they brought Iannone up from Pramac.
That's really the only one.
Yeah, everyone else.
I mean, they didn't,
I mean, Nikki came over from a different factory. Dovey came over from Tech 3. Yeah, I can't. That's pretty much it.
Cal came from Tech 3.
Mm-hmm.
Caparossi was brought from a Honda back in the day. Bayless was brought from World Superbike. None of the teams really promote from the junior team. That shit is the death knell. I mean, no offense to the guys on junior teams, but bitch, you a grid filler.
Well, and the best way to get a factory ride is actually to be at Tech 3. It won't be a factory Yamaha, but it'll get you a different factory ride. It'll likely be a Ducati.
Spargro, Cal Crutchlow. Well, look at Pole. Pole gets the fucking Pole, and Bradley both got the KTM.
Yep. And Redding get Aprilia.
More agreement.
God
Bitch,
damn it.
we gonna agree for days.
All right. Well, so the other side of the coin, as far as Tech 3 probably not being able to keep Zarco, is possibly Tech 3 not being able to keep M1s because Rossi will want to start a team. A MotoGP team for Sky VR46 the second he retires. Do you see any sort of like credibility to that he's going to do it soon and he's going to just swoop in on those bikes?
I have a hard time thinking he's going to do it until... I mean, Sky is becoming kind of like its own entity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, Uchiho is very big involved in the talent squad and all that. So it could happen while he's still on the grid. I mean, hey, he's racing against Morbidelli next season. That's his protege, their first world champion. And if he is really a teacher, if he really is taking on that role, his goal should be to make those guys better than him.
Yeah.
So... if that's the case, at some point he has to have the team. I want to reference, some people were saying, I saw this on Reddit, and I saw some people like, well, they can't because there's only this many bikes on the grid, so they'd have to take over for another team, or yada, yada, yada. First of all, rules don't mean shit to anyone. Rules only mean shit to the people who think they mean anything. This goes to the same people who said that Sam Lowe's can't get fired because he has a contract. And I was like, dude, you can wipe your ass with contracts. They don't mean shit. And everyone laughed at me, and then of course he gets sacked. Because contracts don't mean shit. They literally don't mean anything. There's no contract in the fucking world that you can't just get out of. That's how contracts work. Every contract has those kind of clauses in it. You're telling me that if Valentino wants to start a team and Avintia says, hell no, we ain't selling, and fucking Tech 3 says, hell no, we ain't selling, you think Dorna is just going to be like, okay, well, I guess Valentino, the greatest rider of all time, the most popular guy with all the sponsors, you're just, you're going to have to wait. Why don't you go to Australian Superbike with Troy Bayliss and sponsor a team while you wait? Fuck no. Valentino's going to have 8 bikes on the grid if he fucking wants 8 bikes on the grid. They make the rules. It's not like a law they can't describe. Dorna's gonna be like, well, I guess we'll change the fucking rules. Like they did when they added CRTs. Like they did when they added spec electronics. And don't give me this bullshit like all the teams have to agree. All the teams are gonna disagree that Valentino shouldn't have a team on the grid. The guy's going to bring more sponsorship dollars to the season than anyone. Herb Poncharal just admitted there are riders with bigger budgets than his entire team. And Dorna only wants to pay their social media guy 25 fucking grand, right? This series is not exactly bleeding money and flush with funds. So if Valentino, the most marketable fucking motorsport person in the world, wants to run a team with a bunch of sponsors he already has lined up, bitch, he gonna get that team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and Avintio is actually a really good example because there are plenty of Ducatis on the grid, and some of them with quite low-spec machinery. Like, that would be an easy purchase for Valentino, right? He offers them some discounts on selling their swag, and they just give him the team.
Right, but I don't think that's even gonna happen, because look at the fucking disaster that is Aprilia running with Grassini versus the KTM squad. Here's a good example. We just talked about this, Rob. KTM, one of the new rules, only 3 wild cards allowed. What's the first thing? This is the anti-Michele Pirro rule. What's the first thing that happens? They just say, well, Kallio, he gets 5.
Yeah.
Rules don't matter, and if you think rules matter, you're a chump. You are a chump if you think rules mean anything.
So, Kev, that whole controversy was just because of fake news. Essentially, only any concession team can ask for more than 3 wild cards and can be approved if Dorna feels like it. So only Ducati and Yamaha and HRC can't have more
There's
wild
your
cards.
point.
Yep.
If Dorna feels like it.
Yep.
That's the answer to literally everything.
Yeah.
If Dorna feels like it. They're their own governing body. If Dorna feels like it.
Yeah, they want to make money. If it's good for the sport and it's good for their bottom line, they're going to do it. They may ask like 1 or 2 people and just go, nah, we feel like we should do this.
Right.
They got to report to the FIM for like the rules, but these aren't but those are like the technical regulations, not the sporting regulations. They pretty much make those up.
All they do with the FIM is tell them which guys to make those shitty ass medals for.
Wait, you mean the medals like at the very end of the year? Which medals?
Everyone got the same medals, and they looked like fucking $4 medals. Like, you could probably peel off the bronze and there's chocolate inside. Those were some shit-ass medals. I mean, fuck.
Oh, man. The FIM awards. Those are great. We're going to go, though.
I actually
win
a jiu-jitsu world championship this year. Not to humble brag, but I'm humble bragging. And my medal was a hell of a lot nicer than the one fucking Marc Marquez, greatest rider of a generation, world champion, like 4th title got. That medal literally...
Luca got a finishing medal for like a marathon, and it was nicer than those FIM medals.
Carol Abraham's fucking 12-hour Spartan race medal was probably nicer.
And he had to pay the entry fee.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why more money went to the medals, because Carl pretty much just paid for it.
Right.
Oh, where were we? Yeah, I mean, Rossi will take whatever team he wants because they'll fork it over. I mean, Mark VDS isn't doing that hot with those Hondas, right? There seems to be some low-hanging fruit as far as getting a spot on the grid. Even if Rossi can't overcome the supposed rule that there can't be more teams, it's still like he has plenty of options to take one.
Right. But he's not going to have to, because if he wants to have a team and they don't want to move, they'll just add 2 more bikes to the grid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the bigger problem really is that Tech 3 might be out of actually good machinery, right? Where are they going to go?
That's the real problem.
Yeah.
Right. Right. They're going to have some like second spec Suzukis.
Yeah, would that be a terrible thing? Suzuki has never committed to running more than 2 bikes.
They never have.
Aprilia says that they want to. KTM actually would probably be the best spot for Tech 3 to go to.
If he wants to be a true junior team, like he says, that would actually be the best, because KTM is quite explicit in their, we want to bring riders all the way up to the show, and then we want that. They've said they want a junior team. They've said that they're looking forward to Miguel Oliveira and then fucking Brad Binder. They want veteran... I mean, that is absolutely something that they want to do, and I think that might not be the worst thing ever. You know, they have to dump their Monster sponsorship. It's not exactly... They can't exactly be like Red Bull / Monster, but...
that'd be funny.
But... Right. But realistically, that's probably the best idea for them long term if they want to be a true junior team connected to the factory in a higher spec manner.
I feel like the factories only say that when they're not yet strong enough to just poach whatever the fuck riders they want. Right? Like Factory Yamaha and HRC, if they offer someone a contract for the factory spot, they're going to take it. So they don't need a junior team. They don't need the whole entire scale that moves riders up into the factory spots. They offer someone a contract and they take it. They get dibs on the best possible riders.
I mean, literally, see Maverick. They just stole Suzuki's, like, 3-year investment guy who got them their first win. Mine.
Yep.
Ganked. Straight ganked. Remember ganked? That was a sweet word from back in the day. You gank something?
No, I do not remember that word at all.
You never heard that word?
No.
Like, fucking don't gank my shit, bro. Like, don't steal my stuff. Like, you don't remember gank?
I know what you mean. It's just, I understand you. But no, that does not ring a bell. Sorry.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Basically, just like Kiara ganked Maverick's dog, and now that ain't Maverick's dog anymore. That's fucking Scott Redding's dog. Dang.
Wait, are you serious?
That's gonna suck.
Wait, the dog
They
that we
had
talked
that
so
dog,
much
and
shit
now
about.
the different dog. They had their own like huskies and shit. And Kiara, like, not only they get the other dog, but they have the existing dog. They had like a boyfriend girlfriend dog.
Okay, so we're not talking about Mav and Mav's new girlfriend's dog
If
that
there's
has its own
anything
Instagram.
that's a greater death knell from a boyfriend and a girlfriend in their early 20s, it's when they decide to get a pet together.
Oh yeah, way too much
Ask me how I
responsibility.
know. Ask me how I know.
How many cats do you have, Kev? How do you know?
I got a lot of cats that were bitches' cats. Fuck.
I feel like
Right.
we can have an entire episode on the origin story of your cats. No one will listen to it, but we could have that whole episode.
What? My cats are a hot topic. You don't think you don't think people want to hear about my cats? If you want to hear about my cats, send me a message. If you want an Ione only episode, send me a message. If you want a Redding only episode, send me a message. And if you want the whole backstory of my cats, of like George, for example, yes, one of my cats' name is George, I'll give you his backstory. It's long and illustrious.
If you'd like a live video of Kev talking about his cats, send him a message.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Speaking of all our fans, let's. Do we have any closing thoughts on the Rossi, Zarco, Hervé sort of whole thing? I feel like we covered pretty much everything.
I feel like it's like Herv is resigned. He knows Zarco's going to go to KTM, just like everyone says, because KTM's going to pay him well, and he's going to be a factory rider, and the bike's in development. And he knows that if Valentino wants to run 2 Yamahas and start a team, bitch, that's going to happen. Because 20 years of relationship don't mean shit compared to the 10 years the fucking 13 years that Valentino has that brought them many world titles and many wins and brought them back to prominence. There's just no way. Valentino and Yamaha are... that's going down till fucking Valentino dies or the end of combustion engine happens. And that'll segue us right into electric bikes.
Oh, you want to talk about that
grid.
first? All right, we'll do electric bikes first. All right.
You tell me not to talk about the syllabus on our Facebook Messenger, so I'm not going to talk about it.
Perfect. So if you didn't notice, everyone, Dorna announced the machine that will be used for the Moto E series, and it is the what's the freaking? It's the Ego is the model name. I forgot what. Oh, the Energica. I can't be pronouncing this right.
It's the Easy E. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, we should rename it.
I can't pronounce it. It's the e-bike from Moto E. It's the Easy E. That's what I'm saying.
So it's not 2018. It's a 2019 plan, correct?
Because the bikes in the hood is always hard. You come talking that trash, we gonna pull your car. Because electric bikes know nothing in life but to be legit. But don't quote me, boy. I ain't said shit.
I love how you can just pull this out. That's great.
Yeah, that title of Rob's sex tape.
Damn it!
Yes,
got one in there.
Yes. Right.
You only forgot.
I love how you can just pull this up.
There's one more reference that you'll have to get in. Someone's got a good streak going on, and I won't.
Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
So yeah, the electric motorcycle series is starting in 2019. So even if you people all hate it and think that internal combustion engines should stick around for forever, you're a little behind because it's already starting. Hopefully, they're not going to go T1000 on us, but they are taking over very, very slowly.
This is where it begins.
Yeah, seriously.
Dun 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 dun.
I mean, I watched a couple of I watched a couple of like review videos from magazines over in Great Britain that have actually ridden the bike, and they say it's actually like kind of a nice motorcycle. It set it like on its first outing at one of the electric TTs. It set a record in its first outing for a production bike, which is pretty awesome. So and if I'm not wrong, the series is going to be spec, so everyone will be on the same motorcycles. The mods are going to be minimal. I mean, what modifications can you do to an electric bike besides suspension?
Dope ass headlight stickers.
Hey, we're not talking about World Superbike here, right? This is in the prototype series.
This is prototype series.
Yeah, it's quite heavy, but I mean, maybe they'll let them reduce the battery size or do some modifications to it to make it a little bit more of a race bike. But yeah, it's coming. Electric bikes are coming. You, Kev, you were just talking about how you were going to buy a motorcycle soon. Are you contemplating electric motorcycles?
I mean, here's the thing. I think electric motorcycles are coming. There's nothing you can do about it. And I'm actually supportive of it. I've talked about this before. Where I think electric motorcycles are actually going to gain a foothold and where I think they have the most potential to do well is actually in the closed course or the HOV, the off-road bikes. One of the things that is the biggest problem with off-road motorcycles. Now, I'm talking about the U.S. here. I can't really speak about Europe and things like that. But, we live in California. It's kind of off-road bike heaven. And it's also environmentalist heaven. And one of the problems that's running out is these two groups of people, not to get political, that probably should be connected. Right? Hold on. But hear me out. People who want to conserve the land, want this land for public use, they should be connected, but they're not, because one of these problems with two-stroke bikes leaking oil or the advent of four-stroke bikes has caused major sound problems. The low frequency of the four strokes actually travels farther, not to get overly Rob nerdy on y'all, but the low frequencies break up less over hills and time, so the sound travels farther. So it seems counterintuitive, but while the ying 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 ying, of a two-stroke can be kind of annoying to some people, that dies out very fast over distance, but the four strokes don't. So you have the advent of four-stroke bikes and people's inability to actually run green sticker mufflers are causing major sound issues all over the U.S. People complaining about motocross tracks being too loud. People complaining about off-road bikes being too loud. Environmentalists saying the noise is causing problems with ecosystems, and I get all of that.
So
I totally do. I'm a pretty progressive guy.
Solution? What's your solution?
But if you're looking into electric bikes, where not only is the rideability interesting because of the instant torque working well for that kind of system, but the lack of noise may end up bringing things together. The lack of carbon pollution, the lack of oil pollution, leaking oil or two strokes, that kind of stuff. And I love me some two stroke. I mean, a KX 125 was the favorite bike I ever had in all the bikes I've had.
What year? What year did you own?
It was a 2001, and it was the shit. I loved that bike.
Dude, I had a
for reals.
I had a 1991.
Oh man, with like the weird ass green frame, the green trellis frame, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how much Rob loves trellis frames.
I wouldn't call it trellis, but yeah, I think that was like the only full size motorcycle I owned that had a steel frame. Everything else, because I had a CR,
like a straight wishbone frame.
Yeah, because I had a CR 250 after that, and it was like one of the first years of the aluminum frame. And like, not at the time, not that I could tell the difference between riding them. I was like, oh, this one's a Honda, that one's green, that one's red. They're great. But
holla.
But, yeah, I know, right?
Back to my point. Back to the thing I was saying is that a motor, because you don't need to worry about the weight as much. Because look, most guys aren't hitting triples or smashing their nuts and peeing orange in the shower like I was, right? Most dudes who have motocross bikes are actually just out running trails, going out, like, say, to Carnegie, if you live around here where I live in Northern California, or Cow Mountain or whatever. You're going out with your boys, you're throwing some beers in your bag, you're going up, riding some trails for a few hours, coming back, throwing back some cold ones. and you're trying to maintain that habitat. Electric bikes are going to be super powerful for closed course competition. Look at Laguna. What's the number one thing we constantly hear at Laguna? Is it's being encroached by the neighbors because it's too loud. Josh Heron just fucking told us about how he threw that new exhaust on his bike and he got black flagged because his shit was too loud. People might say that the loudness is part of the spectacle, but that spectacle may be a problem. It already is a problem for off-road, and I think in many places it's prohibitive for closed tracks, for supermoto, for places...
I read that on one of the forums, like, not last week, that other GP tracks have stringent sound regulations. Like, I think that was one of the reasons why one of the new like KTM or something didn't test at Sachsenring, because they have strict sound regulations there too. So while we see these amazing events with MotoGP and even with World Superbike at Laguna Seca, right? These events happen, and it seems like there are no sound regulations. It's only because the local government goes like, hey, we need this money influx into the economy, so we'll allow it for this one day. But
and in exchange, we'll have an even stricter sound policy otherwise.
Yeah, pretty much. So great for sport or great for professional sport, and great for us buying tickets and going to these tracks. Not so great for us using the same facilities.
Right, which in the end is not good. Look, if little kids can't ride their dirt bikes and then slowly ride their supermotos and then ride their track bikes building up because sound regulations have people closing, off-course tracks and closed circuit tracks, that kills the sport in a lot of areas. And I think... For me, I'm super supportive of the electric series, not only because I think it's coming and they have to be in on the ground floor to at least know what's going on, but I personally feel that the sound is an issue. Look, 20 years ago, everyone thought loud-ass Harleys were the shit. You always heard that weird wives' tale about how they patented the sound, right? Like every idiot told you that. And loud fucking pipes save lives. When you go around these days, people don't think that's cool.
At least in California. Yeah.
Right. At least in the most populous, highest economic state in the country. At least in the 6th largest economy in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, Harley's not doing so hot.
I think Harley's not doing so hot, and who shall not be named is trying to help that out. That's a reference, an inside reference. Only one person will get that. But... the other thing is their interests are changing, and I think the motorcycle community and Dorna needs to at least be exploring these options to work out the kinks now. You do not want to get caught flat-footed or fuck up with a rule change and suddenly we're in an 800cc era where there's 12 bikes, no one cares, and they have to forcibly put CRT shitty-ass bikes on. Having a secondary series that at least figures things out, figures out the kinks with some Malaysian fucking MV Agusta looking knockoff, I'm cool with that. I think it's a good move.
Well, yeah, and there's no risk to Dorna at the moment, right? Like, yeah, they have to spend a little bit of money to support this series. Like, it's great that they've got a small manufacturer like Energica to support this.
Probably paying him 25 grand.
Yeah. I think each motorcycle costs that much. So yeah, that just about that.
Listen to me right now, Dorna. I have so many perfect ideas, and I can literally convince people about electric bikes, or at least start the conversation, and you want to pay me 25 grand to do that.
Yeah.
I can't even afford an Energetica electric bike or whatever. I mean, if I can't buy... Fucking Ford said his assembly workers need to be able to afford a Model T, and I need to be able to afford a fucking Moto E bike. Because the boys in the hood is always hard.
There it is. Round it out. Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. Like, electric bikes are what's going to save motorsports for the general population. And I do think that once that older generation kind of either gets over their fears or just goes away and likes something else, like then the younger generation will probably move towards it anyway. So, like everyone likes video games.
Here's
anyway.
the thing, right? Here's the thing. And I don't want to get again. We try to avoid this kind of political talk. You either get electric bikes or you want to watch downhill mountain biking. Which one is it? Because that's your choice long term.
Yeah.
Long term for motorsports, it's downhill mountain biking or electric bikes, or some facet of hybrid electric bike, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it has to. We have to at least explore it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not going to cost Dorn anything. We're probably not going to see the races on the stream. Like, you're not going to be paying extra for it. They're not going to end up on television in 2019, but maybe they do in 2021. Or maybe they get a little bit more exciting and people start watching. It's just at the moment it's probably just a test for Dorna, and they're going to see how it goes. So let's transition away. I think you brought up Josh Herron in that last little bit there.
My boy.
So we had a listener. We're doing listener questions now. Someone actually did want us to talk about electric motorcycles. But so another thing that someone else wanted to talk about was Herron punking everyone at track days. I think we covered this a little bit.
Right. So Heron's sweet. I love his Instagram stories. It's like him just flying by on public roads, backing it in like a fucking animal, right? Or he's on track days and he's like punking people and tapping their helmets and saying what's up. So there was the Make Heron Factory thing again. But I sort of secretly don't want him to. But here's why. I love Josh Herron. I'm a big fan, and I wish him all the success in the world. But one of the cool things about not being factory and not connected to these overly corporate bland sponsors is the ability to let loose and be who you are. And Josh's Instagram, his stories, and his posts, he's fucking hilarious. He's out there riding track days left and right. He's fucking with, like, dads on their, like, overly expensive R1s that they're in, like, he's, like, out there punking C group guys. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, it's so sweet, and to me, it's just a classic example of I wish it was a slightly different time, like, if we had social media in the early 90s when those dudes were, like, legit fighting and, like, Kevin Schwantz was fucking the sister of his rival and all that stuff, like, it just like, Herron makes me think of what could be if we just let these guys be who they were.
I mean,
and who
look
they
at
were.
it. Well, and look at the exact opposite of Herron, right? When he did get the factory ride at the end of the Moto America season, the final race, or the second to last race of the year, it kind of was raining and the track conditions were a little sketch, and he didn't race. Right? Like, that's not something that happens on a privateer team when they're pushing for results. That happens on a team with a replacement rider and someone, you know, like oh, we'll just save the bike, like no sense in throwing it down, like there's no championship here, right? That wouldn't happen if Herron stays privateer, and if he's doing it all himself and all that stuff. So yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. God damn it.
Yes. Also, that sound was me checking Herron's Instagram stories to see if anything funny happened, but there wasn't anything at the time because it was super loud.
It'll give it another day or two. I'm sure he's riding on the track tomorrow too.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, Herron, it's a little up in the air as to what ride Herron is going to have in Moto America next year. I think he's talking to some crew chiefs and trying to put something together. I'm pretty sure he still has support from Wiener Schnitzel, which is cool. But other than that, I don't know what else to tell you besides rumors that are going around.
Maybe we'll have to have him on and ask him.
I think so. I think that could happen. I mean, speaking of other Moto America news, we know that Bobby Fong's team with Kawasaki, they pulled out, and he doesn't have a ride right now. So there are like crazy rumors going around about what he's going to do next year. I feel like we just need to have like a Moto America bro down to help these guys get rides for next year.
These shitheads need to put me in charge of their social media. Fuck.
Herron's good at it. Herron is good at it.
And then what'll happen is they won't want me to do Broto GP anymore because, like, you know, I got to be official. So I'll have one of those voice alterers, and then if you'll all know it's me, but it'll be like, oh, yes, this is, anonymous Joe Smith recorded for MotoGP, and they'll put me through like a filter. It'd be sweet.
You could just get Veronica to be your MotoGP your recording voice.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I don't know if it'll work, Kev. I don't know. I feel like we need original Kev. You just sell other personalities to them to do their social media.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Right.
What else are we going to talk about? What else do other people? We did electric bikes, heron punking. Oh, everyone wants to know about freaking Troy Bayliss.
This is the stupidest thing ever.
I've spoke up about this before. Like, I kind of had a little bit a problem with Speeds coming back in Moto America. Troy Bayliss is more along the same vein in the Australian Superbike series. Like, I know that Troy Bayliss he's been a part of a Ducati team.
Troy Bayliss is so old that if you invert his age numbers, that's still older than Speeds.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
You guys get what I'm putting down, right? You're picking up what I'm putting down. This bitch is old.
I'm just trying to recover after doing the mental gymnastics in my head for that math.
Yes.
He's old. Like, I don't know how the Australian Superbike series is going as far as, like, do they need more sponsorship? Do they need more rides? Like, I don't know. We're not Australian. We don't live in that hemisphere. I don't know what's going on with their series, but you got to imagine, like...
I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
He's bored as fuck at home, and he probably has Mrs. Bayliss as nagging wife in his phone, too. These dudes try to get... here's the thing. When you're like a grown man, you know, working's tough, you wish you didn't work as much or whatever, but the inverse isn't necessarily a whole lot better. Like, if you're a motorcycle racer, man, I spent 20 years traveling the globe, I wasn't around my family, I'm just going to settle down and be with my wife and my kids. Like, 12 months into that shit, over it.
Yeah.
Over it. I gotta get out with the boys once in a while. But I can't just, like, Ben Spies can't just tell Mrs. Spies or his mom that he's going to, like, the mountain to ride with some bros and we're gonna get drunk and ride for a couple days. So he just does it under the guise of I race enduros. Right?
Well, he did.
That's all.
He did buy the RV so that he could bring the family with him, but it's essentially the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, it's, you know what I'm saying. So it's the same thing, but, you know, stay in the RV, bitch. But and the Bayliss is like, he's home, he's bored, he's not riding. Here's the problem with leaving on top, and this is why so many athletes can't do it. You still think you have some left in the tank, and you have your final result to prove it.
Yeah. More agreement.
And here's the problem: if he has any left in the tank and he does well, what does that say about Australian Superbike? I mean, it's not like I'm going to go watch it because Bayliss is on. Like, no one's really going to go watch more of it because of Bayliss. But if he does really well, it makes them look terrible. And if he does really shitty, we're just going to make breaking news memes about, oh, hey, breaking news, old dude thought he could ride a motorcycle again, midlife crisis style. I mean, he's going through a legit midlife crisis. He's thinking back to that time in his 20s when he was carefree and had a sweet Ducati, and now he's like 52, and he's like, I got to get that Ducati again. I had a 999 and that shit was legit, and he's gonna go buy another one and he's gonna like revive, and his wife is like holding the baby on one hand going, okay honey, whatever you say, but she's like rolling her eyes like a motherfucker, and then later over lunch she's telling her fucking girlfriends about how, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening, and then her other girlfriend tells her friend about how Carl got a hairpiece, you know, or like, you know what I mean, like, you know, and like, you know, Jeffrey decided he's gonna run a marathon. Only thing he can do is run to the bathroom. I mean, this is like midlife crisis central going on right now.
Well, and it's his kid isn't even a baby anymore. He posted a picture with his son, I think, and the kid's like 10, 12 years old. Like, he should be racing his own motorcycles if he's not already.
I think he is.
Yeah.
He's gonna be racing their 300 series.
Oh, no shit. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. See, Troy does not need to be back on the bike. He's got plenty of other shit to take care of. He can still be in the paddock. He doesn't need to make everyone in Australian Superbike look bad, right? If Rossi retired and then came back and somehow managed to spank everyone again, we'd be a little sad as to the state of MotoGP, right? The fact
Right.
that he's going out because he's winning a race or two, so he's still competitive, but he's losing to Marquez. He's losing to the new cream of the crop. That's the way things should be, and it'll stop Rossi from coming back when he retires.
I mean, literally, his MotoGP win was in 2006. Bitch, it's 2017, dog. I mean, what is going on?
I mean, I'm kind of surprised that he lasted this long, because his last season in World
Title
Superbike.
of Rob's sex tape.
God damn it.
Title of Rob's sex tape. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, his title was 2008. He had those wild cards in 2015, which I mean, he
What?
got one. Oh, Troy
What?
Bayliss. Yeah, he wild carded at the at Phillip Island and at the Thailand round. What race is this? The Chang
I have
round.
no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's because I'm talking about World Superbike.
This sounds like fake news.
All right, either way.
All I'm saying is this is classic midlife crisis. I mean, it's to a T. He's harkening back to the 20s when he had a sweet red sport bike and he was looking good and chicks was miring. And now again, if his kid is 10, 11, 12 years old, his wife's getting on. He's seen her every day. They've been living a domestic life. He's probably a little bored. They're both a little fatter than they should be, a little wrinklier than they should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and he's looking to reinvigorate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and he may do that for the Australian Superbike Championship. Like, he's gonna bring in some fans. He'll bring in plenty of fans. All those people that are hoping to see him race again. And if he wins, it'll be fun, but it'll suck for the sport. If he loses, will it actually be better for all the fans? I don't know. All right, we're moving on. Next question. Where is it? Oh, I had a good one. Oh, I lost it in all the tabs. All right. This one, you're going to go off on this one.
Already.
If the people who boo the podium aren't real fans, what do you what do we think an English journalist's version of a real fan might look like?
An English journalist version of a real fan is them, because they're literally just fanboys. Like, here's a good example, and I'm going to connect this. Emmett, who, he's guilty of this in some degree, but a little less than others, he says what we just said on Twitter, that Bayliss coming back is kind of lose-lose, because if he wins, it makes our national series look shitty, and it's gonna make no one want to get Australian talent.
God, we're agreeing with him too.
Hold on. So Simon Patterson, the guy who, when I said I don't like the UK media, and he said, well, I'm Irish, and I'm like, so you're in the UK media? And he's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, what are we talking about then, bro? Help me out, man. He said, why can't you put a more positive spin on it? And that's the key. British media's ideal version of fans is them. Sycophant fanboys obsessed with their writers like they're teenage girls.
Oh, I don't want those fans to be everywhere. Like, I want new fans.
Look, every series needs those fans. And I've said this. You actually want the teenage girl fan base. They purchase stuff, they're hella interested, they get involved, but that can't be your only fans. You can't only have fans that are obsessed with the writers. Like, you have to have other fans. You have to have a wider variety of demographics, and you can't simply have fans that googly-eyed agree with everything the writers say and worship them. They're still human beings. It's still important to have writers that you like and writers that you dislike, because we've gone over that. And I think English media, they just want people to like the same guys they do.
I mean, I want all the fans to have that enthusiasm in following the sport, right, and liking the riders, but I also want them to hate plenty of other riders. Right? Like, I want some negative emotion too.
Yes, because you want to root. It's every major sport has built-in rivalries. Mm-hmm. Every sport, every stick and ball sport, every kind of sport there is, every combat sport, you always have rivalries. And I want fans to have guys that they just fucking love, who can do no wrong. That, the Valaban, if you will. we want the Valiban, right?
Yeah.
Who hate everyone irrationally because you want them to love a writer and hate another writer. Just like you want Jack Miller fans to think that he is suddenly going to get the second Pramac bike and win 5 races and challenge for the title this year. Y'all are fucking nuts. He ain't going to do shit on that Pramac because no one ever does.
That was another listener question.
Right. I'm glad you think that, and I want you to hate Marquez the same way. Look, I hate Alex Marquez, and I got no bones about it. But it's fun to have guys to root against. I don't actually hate him as a person, except for his weird face. Why you gotta look so weird all the time? But, right? He always looks like he farted, and he's not sure that you know. That's all. He's like, you smell that or no? Is that a sniff, or are you just breathing through your nose? Or, fuck, I can't tell.
God damn it.
Like... Yeah, exactly. You have to have people that both root for and against writers.
Oh, man. All right, I think that was pretty good. Let's, all right, I got 2 silly ones for you here. From Clayton W. Taylor. Do Yanone's mechanics get STDs from touching his seat?
Yes.
All right, straight ahead.
Here's the thing. We all thought Yanone was going to be the one with the first visible STD, but it was the 2 brothers that were making out live on TV.
Did Marquez's cold sore pop up too? Because that was another listener question.
I haven't seen that, but once you get that face herpes, it doesn't necessarily come right up, but that shit's subcutaneous. It's under there, ready to explode.
Man, SAT
the problem
words.
is SAT words. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
All right, next one. Those African kids that Scott Redding was feeding on his Instagram, are their families burning pallets of Monkey Fresh gear in their cook fires?
Okay, I wanna correct you. Those weren't African kids. Those were Dominican Republic kids. Not all black people look the same, people. The Dominican Republic is on the Isle of Hispaniola. It is connected to Haiti. There are oddly, I know a woman named Lynn Mochetti who runs a non-profit, non-NGO to help bring fresh water and housing to Dominican Republic. She's done it for about 25 years, and she's married to a Dominican man. Let me tell you right now, what Scott Redding was doing was the same bullshit and why I hate 99% of charity. Because all charity is doing is selling you a product, and that product is feeling good about yourself. Because book ended between handing the little fucking poor kids some Sprite was him being wasted on a resort with Kiara, and then him covered in green slime in a dance contest in a resort later that day. It is the most bullshit, disingenuous, fakest ass shit I've ever seen. I fucking hate this shit. Scott Redding comes out, he's a fucking millionaire motorcycle racer who tours the world, and for 5 seconds he's gonna feel like he gives back to the community because he gives some poor kids a fucking Mountain Dew. Fuck off with that bullshit.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm fucking heated on this
stuff. Yeah, you are.
The last thing these fucking people need is some idiot rich Westerner coming around and getting their jollies off so he can feel good about himself at their fucking expense. I hate this shit, and I have gone around. Y'all know I've traveled through sub-Saharan Africa pretty extensively. I've been around that, contemporary African politics is an interest of mine, and I've also know quite a few people, like I just said, personally know a person who runs an NGO who spent 5 years in the Peace Corps in Dominican Republic and turned this into a long-term charity organization. This guy went to a resort with his idiot drunk girlfriend who's rebounding like a motherfucker, and then he posts up his stories about him helping out these kids. And look, just because you see poor people doesn't make you fucking cool. Okay? I can see poor people all day long. I saw a bum take a shit while I was eating my burrito. That didn't make me feel like I was giving back to my community. You know what I'm saying? Like, the real thing you need to do instead of just showing up and doing all this is let these people figure shit out for themselves and stop trying to tell them from a Western point of view how to handle this shit.
Damn.
You don't live in Dominican Republic. You don't have any idea about the political, cultural, or geographic landscape of Dominican. I'm blowing Scott Redding up right now. Get me heated, Rob. I'll keep going.
You could blow him up. You really could. Maybe use your personal account just a little bit for that one.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, look, man, everyone needs help in the world. Don't get me wrong. The world is a hard-ass place to be, and some people get dealt a shit hand. But fucking so many charities are just simply selling you the product of feeling good about yourself for 20 minutes, or for a week, or for a couple days. You go help out, and maybe you help them build a house once in a while or something like that. All you did was buy self-satisfaction. Eat a fucking dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I saw that shit, I was pissed. I thought it was going to be funny and have a good time, but I was like, I saw that shit and I got a little heated, to be perfectly honest.
Wow, I feel...
Yeah,
damn.
didn't expect that, did you?
No, I didn't. I don't know how I feel about this whole, you just kind of flipped my whole mindset on that upside down. Damn.
Right.
All right, I'm changing.
Right, because here's the thing. What do you think? No. What happens? You go to the resort where you're protected from everything, where you get the clean water, where you can open your mouth in the shower, where you can drink all you want, and you've got clean pools, and you're dancing around, and all the guys are dancing around like, oh yeah, man, Mr. Westerner, I'm here to hand you some fucking drink. I'm here to fucking give you some vodka, take your fucking Long Island iced tea and all that. And then you go, look, those poor kids are that dude who's serving you's fucking kids because your little resort community is turning the entire island into a subservient servant community instead of being able to perform their own manufacturing and their own agriculture. And the reason his kids are poor is because you spent 3/4 of your time in Dominican Republic or in your fucking island, you know, at the party place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I have no
real.
I have no response here, Kev.
Get real.
Yes, this is completely real. He's really going off. This is not even scripted. I just brought up the wrong topic for silly entertainment.
You did.
Yeah,
You hit a nerve, bitch. You hit a nerve.
All right, I'm flipping it.
I got a fucking raw tooth with a nerve.
All right, I'm flipping it. Someone wants to know, can
Okay.
you you Point Break for us, the movie?
That's it. Who? What? Someone. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Bassam wants
Don't
to know.
Stop.
So is that a no? You can't ruin Point Break?
That is a trick question. Point Break was ruined by the remake of Point Break called Point Break.
Yeah, that remake was
Which
really
was terrible.
shitty.
But if you want to bounce back from that, hit up Point Break Live, the play on which they reenact Point Break, where the character of Keanu Reeves is played by a random audience member. And
what?
yes, I've been to it. And when they run around kidnapping people, they kidnap members of the audience, and they shoot you. And if you get the Adrenaline Zone package, you get some Pappas Memorial meatball sandwiches served to you. Point Break is the greatest movie of all time. It's a second. It is in a close fight with Roadhouse for greatest movie ever, but it's at least the greatest bank robbing surfer movie ever made.
Is there more than one bank robbing surfer movie?
Does there need to be?
No, because Point Break is the greatest one. All right, last question.
No, last question.
Last
Fuck,
question.
okay.
Who would you rather marry your sister? Marquez, Redding, or Yanone?
I knew you were going to ask this, so even though you didn't tell me, I didn't say prepared. Let me tell you something about my sister. My sister has a .357 Magnum tattooed on her hip sticking out of her pants. So I don't give a fuck who it is. Those bitches are gonna bow down to my sister afterwards. My sister don't take no shit from no one. My sister has more tats than Scott Redding, and she's got guns hanging out of her pants. So whether it's Redding or Yanone or Marquez, whoever's doing it, they'll be worshiping my sister within fucking 5 minutes, because she will fuck them up.
All right, so let's flip it then. Who do you think would be the best match for your sister? Of those three.
For my sister?
Yeah, of those three.
She would see through fucking Redding's bullshit so fast. My sister is an alpha, so she needs a fucking beta. So as bad as it sounds, Alex Marquez. I'm going with option D.
Oh, damn. So she's gonna be cool with like wheeling him around in a stroller and like having a little bitch.
I don't care who you are. If you are a dude dating my sister, you are a doormat within a day.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah. So why not just be a doormat within the first 5 minutes?
I don't think Michael Clayson's expected this answer for his question.
Right.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah, y'all weren't prepared for the fact that my sister is gangster.
Yeah, seriously. Does she? Wait, who has more tats, you or her?
In terms of full coverage, I do, but she's got some pretty gangster tats.
That's
Straight
awesome.
up.
That's awesome.
She's got Hollywood tattooed down her side.
Nice.
She's Hollywood, bro.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll have to. Can you bring her to Laguna? I feel like people are going to want to meet her.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, everyone. This
Troy
episode
Shear asked us. No, fuck you. Troy Shear asked, P.S. Did you use the Rozzy photo to try and get more engagement on this post? Yes, I did.
Obviously.
And here's why. Because he's bigger, obviously. He's bigger than the sport. We've got some Euro magazines that have been interested in interviewing us ahead of the first race of the season, which is fucking hilarious. But one of the talks we mentioned was, you put Rozzy on the cover of a magazine, you increase your readership by 25%.
Huge number.
That is the world we live in.
Yep.
Whether you like it or not, and whether you think a rider being bigger than the sport is better for the sport or not, I don't know, and you can argue either side. What I can tell you is if I post a picture of Valentino, you get more engagement. You get more follows. You get more likes. If I post a picture of Valentino and 55 of you guys comment on things you like, that blows up our Southeast Asian engagement and we get like 100 more followers.
And this is why Dorna needs to pay you more than $25K.
Right.
Rossi pictures everywhere. You got one more in there? Or are we gonna? This episode's gone a lot longer than I expected.
Let's see here. My man Azure13 wants to talk about shitty burritos. We already talked about that. Project Catfish update. It's still a nebulous phase. I'm still I'm getting things together. I'm getting my TED Talk presentation ready. One guy wants to know about, where'd that go? There was a good one. Can you cover the metaphysical impact of the Alabama election yesterday and the hypothetical ripples that will send through the political landscape? No, we can't.
Nope, sorry.
Nope. Ain't gonna happen.
This episode went like 50% over the line for political. It was almost too far.
Almost too far.
Yeah.
There was one. Where'd it go? This guy wanted to talk about the gift that keeps. I don't understand his comment. The gift that keeps giving, the 80s fireman mustache and Casio jams. So I don't understand what that means. But Casio jams were the dope back in the day. Remember we had a Casio keyboard and you just hit that demo button and then you pretended to play while that dope ass like 80s hip hop R&B jazz.
Yeah, I totally had a Casio keyboard and played the piano. Yep. Nope. Yeah, got the jams. I remember.
Right. That's what's in the salad box. That's what's actually in the salad box.
Jams.
Is the Casio keyboard. Is the Casio keyboard. They hide that shit in there.
Damon Douglas wants to know, has Dorna ever considered racing in Canada? Maybe. Unfortunately, there aren't enough Canadians to make it worthwhile.
If the entire country of Canada showed up to the Canadian race, we would joke about how there was no one in the stands.
I mean,
haven't you ever seen that movie, Canadian Bacon? 90% of the fucking Canadian populace is within 20 miles of the border, seeping into the U.S. like dripping maple syrup.
They are America's toque. I-E-R hat.
What?
A toque. It's a hat. It's a beanie. Yeah.
It's a hat?
A toque. It's Canadian for hat.
What? Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
A toque is a Canadian...
It's Canadian for hat. God damn it! Go watch Strange Brew with Rick Moranis and that other guy.
Damn, bitch, you old Rick Moranis.
Dude, he was, whatever. All right, I'm cutting you off now.
Okay, no, I got one more. Jennifer Unraw wants to know which MotoGP rider would play the best mall Santa. Yanone. Because Santa is a creepy-ass dude who sneaks into your house at night when you're not looking to lure your children around to, like, give them presents in exchange for cookies. Yanone is sort of the creepiest dude on the grid. And so since that's a kind of a creepy story, I think, Yanone is Santa. You sitting on his lap?
Well... Yanone would be the best Santa at like a holiday party, but at the actual mall where people are paying like $37 so their kid can sit on your lap and take the photo, I don't know. Who's the jolliest? Yeah. Who's the jolliest person?
Petrucci.
Yeah, that's true.
He's a jolly motherfucker.
That's true. That's true. I'm going
And
to
he'd be stoned. He'd be stoned off his ass on that seat too, in just a red Pramac Santa suit.
That'd be so
You know what
awesome.
I'm saying?
Oh, they
Right.
should. He needs to wear one of those when they go do the
Again,
Ducati reveal.
if I was your social media manager, I would source a Pramac Santa suit, get Yanone wasted, put him on a chair, and then bring random like umbrella girls and crew chiefs on his lap. Massive engagement.
Oh my god.
I hate you, Dorna. 25 grand. I can't live on that. I can't live on
that idea alone is worth $25,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, Dorna, you owe us money. All right, everyone, we're rounding this
All
one
right.
out. Thanks for listening. We will see you. Literally, see you. Very
Literally, possibly. Shh.
shortly. Shortly.
All I'm saying is paradigm shift might be taking place. I've been peppering y'all.
Yeah.
Things. Rob has massive plans, and I'm in on those plans. Plans afoot.
Yeah. The off season is a good time for experimentation because we know the 2,000 hardcore fans that we have listen still, and yeah. So you will be very surprised. Probably, I'm sure some of you will guess, but it should go well. The podcast will still live no matter what we change. The podcast will continue to be podcast.
Correct.
And you will
You'll
be able
to listen
Yeah.
exactly in the way that you are now.
But we're adding
No
more.
different.
But we're adding more.
More.
All right, everyone. Check out riderslaw.com. This has been the Kevin and Rob Show because no one else showed up. And we will catch you in a week or two. Thanks for listening.
All right. Later, guys.